So it's now important to define the differences between the different types of G-NAF. So our standard G-NAF is what we've been talking about. It's produced on a quarterly cycle. It's an open data set, and this is the original product which we have been creating for over 20 years. And over those 20 years of use, we've been hearing a lot of feedback from users around complexities and challenges with using G-NAF, because it is quite a complex and large data set. And so, of course, we listened to that, and as a result, we created G-NAF Core. So G-NAF Core is a flattened version of G-NAF. It still has the exact same number of addresses in the data set. So they're both, it's equally as complete as the original G-NAF product. But the main difference here is that instead of 30 plus different tables, which require a lot of joining and manipulation to use, G-NAF Core just has 2 tables. One is a list of active G-NAF addresses, and the second is your inactive G-NAF addresses. So essentially, this means that you don't need to wrangle and join the data to use G-NAF Core. It's very simple in terms of it's just these 2 tables. So while G-NAF Core and G-NAF do have the exact same number of addresses, there are some differences, and one of them is that G-NAF Core does have less detailed information. So just to call out a couple of those differences, a G-NAF address can have more than 1 geocode. So when we do our validation process, all addresses receive a locality geocode and a street geocode. Generally, the parcel geocode is what people are interested in. And there are, in fact, different types of parcel level geocodes. So you have your property centroid, you have frontage center setback, you have a whole range of other ones like building access point geocode and letterbox geocode. In general, what we find is that the property centroid type of parcel geocode is the most uniform, and in the vast majority of cases, there's not as good national coverage of those other types of geocodes. And so while in the full G-NAF product, you have all those other different types of geocodes available, in G-NAF Core, it just defaults to the 1 geocode, which is the property centroid. Another key difference between G-NAF Core and G-NAF is an attribute called confidence level. So full G-NAF has this attribute, and it essentially tells you how many contributors have supplied that address. So an address with a score of 0 means that 1 supplier has given us that address. So this could be just the jurisdiction. If the confidence level is 1, it means 2 suppliers have given it. If the confidence level is 2, it means that 3 suppliers, all 3, have supplied that address. And then finally, if the confidence score is -1, this means that no contributors are giving us this address anymore. And so that's how we identify an address as being retired. So confidence level is available in the full G-NAF dataset. In G-NAF Core, you just have the -1s being represented as your retired addresses, and the rest all fall into G-NAF Core. Both versions of G-NAF have their pros and cons. So if you're asking yourself which one I should be using, it really comes down to what you're doing with it and what your level of comfort is with working with complex data. So if you're very comfortable doing lots of joins, working with one-to-many relationships, or you need very detailed insights into addresses, then working with the original G-NAF is probably going to give you a lot more insights and value. However, if you're just doing a simple analysis of addresses, so for example, you're just looking to see how many addresses fall in a certain area, or you're just looking at a simple spatial intersect, or if you're not as comfortable or experienced working with complex data, then G-NAF Core is probably going to be more suitable for you because it's easier to work with.